The night began quiet. Too quiet for a border town burned hollow by war. Wind moved through dry grass like a held breath. She lay prone on a rooftop still warm from the sun. 16 years old. Hands steady. Heart loud. The rifle smelled of oil and old metal. Not hers. Borrowed from a dead uncle. Below her, rangers moved in shadow. Boots soft. Radios whispering. She heard them before she saw them. American voices. Tired. Alert. Human. Her cheek pressed against cracked concrete. Her eye met the scope. The world narrowed into glass and crosshairs. She told herself to breathe. She did not. A truck engine growled in the distance. Men laughed. Foreign accents. Cruel laughter. She remembered her mother's kitchen. Burned rice. The smell of smoke that never left her clothes. The men below raised rifles toward the rangers. 1 second. That was all she had. Her finger tightened. The rifle kicked her shoulder hard. Pain bloomed. The first man fell. Shock rippled through the street. Shouting. Chaos. Another shot. Clean. Fast. A third. A body slammed against a wall. Blood darkened dust. Her ears rang. Her stomach twisted. She wanted to scream. She did not. The ranger radio crackled. Who is shooting? Static. Who is shooting at them? She swallowed bile. Her hand shook now. She forced them still. Another enemy rose behind a truck. She saw his eyes widen. She fired. He dropped. Silence followed. Heavy. Unnatural. Then the radio again. Urgent. Confused. Who is shooting? This teenager? Her chest burned. They knew. Or guessed. Or hoped. She felt exposed. Seen. Judged. Below, a ranger dragged a wounded man to cover. Blood soaked through tan fabric. The smell reached her. Copper. Dust. Fear. She adjusted her grip. Her palms were slick. She lined up the shot anyway. Her finger tightened as the radio crackled again. The launcher tilted toward the street. Toward the rangers. Toward the man bleeding in the dirt. Her vision tunneled. Everything else disappeared. The smell of gunpowder clung to her nose. Her shoulder throbbed. Her jaw clenched until it hurt. She whispered a name. Not God's. Her brother's. The shot rang out. The silhouette snapped backward. Metal clattered across concrete. The launcher rolled and stopped. A breath she didn't know she held tore out of her chest. Below, someone yelled, "Clear!" Boots moved fast. Orders barked sharp and scared. The radio crackled again. "Snipers friendly," a voice said. Another answered, "She's a kid." That word hit her harder than recoil. Kid. Her hands began to shake uncontrollably. She pressed her forehead to the rooftop. Concrete scraped skin. She welcomed the pain. It kept her here. Kept her from thinking. A helicopter thumped somewhere far away. Then closer. The night was no longer quiet. She scanned the street again. Training she never had guided her. Corners. Windows. Alley mouths breathing dark. A flicker. Movement behind shattered glass. Her pulse spiked. Her finger hovered. The radio burst alive once more. Urgent now. Unknown shooters repositioning. Plural. Her mouth went dry. She tasted rust. The scope caught a face. Older. Calm. Watching the street like a hunter. Watching her. His rifle rose. Slow. Certain. Her chest tightened until it felt like it might split. She adjusted the crosshairs. Wind shifted. The helicopter's roar grew louder. Light swept the rooftops. She knew she had seconds. Maybe less. Her finger began to squeeze as the radio screamed. "Get down!" Someone shouted over the radio. Too late. The helicopter light cut across her roof. What? Blinding. Her scope flared useless. She lost the target. Her breath came fast and thin. Below, Rangers scattered. Boots pounding. Steel shouting. A shot cracked from across the street. Not hers. The bullet bit concrete inches from her face. Dust filled her mouth. She coughed and tasted grit and fear. The hunter had fired first. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She rolled sideways, scraping skin. The rifle dragged heavy behind her. Another shot. Closer. Intentional. The radio exploded with overlapping voices. Sniper taking fire. Eyes on rooftop. Hold fire, hold fire. Hold fire. She almost laughed. Almost cried. Her hand shook as she crawled to the edge. She peeked through the scope again. The hunter was gone. Then he appeared in her peripheral vision. Different window. Different angle. Smart. Patient. She felt small. Young. Very alive. A memory slammed into her. Her father teaching her to aim at cans. His voice calm. Never rush. Never waste. She steadied her breathing by force. In. Out. The rifle felt heavier now. Like it knew what it had done. The hunter's radio chirped softly through the night. Not American. Not friendly. The helicopter banked away. The light vanished. Darkness rushed back in. Pure. Hungry. Her finger rested on the trigger. The hunter shifted his stance. Raising his rifle. A ranger screamed below. Someone else screamed louder. She locked onto the hunter's eye. Saw surprise flicker there. Recognition. He knew she was young. He fired. She fired at the same instant. The shots collided in the air like thunder. Her rifle slammed her shoulder back. Fire tore through her arms. She tasted blood where she bit her lip. The hunter vanished from the window. Glass exploded outward. Someone shouted below. A ranger dropped to one knee. Another dragged him hard. Her vision blurred. She blinked fast. Forced focus. Forced calm. The night rang like a bell struck too many times. She searched the window again. Empty. Too empty. Her chest tightened. Did she hit him? Did she miss? A radio screamed her fear out loud. Sniper still active. Another voice cut in. He's moving rooftops. Her fingers went numb. She flexed them. Pain answered. Good. Pain meant control. A shadow crossed the rooftop behind her. Soft. Wrong. She froze. Every nerve lit up. Footsteps. Careful. Close. Not below. Up here. Her breath stalled in her throat. The rifle felt impossibly long to turn. The radio crackled one last time. Low. Urgent. Do not engage. The shadow shifted closer. Metal whispered. Her finger tightened again. The whisper of metal stopped. The footsteps stopped with it. Her finger trembled on the trigger. Sweat ran down her spine, cold as rain. She did not turn. Turning meant choosing. Choosing meant living with it. A breath touched the back of her neck. Not wind. Human. Her mind screamed to fire. Her body locked. Down below, the rangers shouted again. Closer now. Too close. A boot scraped gravel behind her. Slow. Careful. The weight of a presence settled in the dark. She felt it more than saw it. Her arms ached from holding the rifle ready. Her teeth chattered once. She hated herself for that sound. The radio crackled softly at her hip, unnoticed by the shadow. Eyes on rooftop, a voice whispered. American. Right beneath her. The shadow shifted. A hand brushed her sleeve. Warm. Alive. Her heart slammed so hard it stole her breath. The finger on the trigger began to squeeze. The pressure built slow. Not panic. Decision. Her finger moved a fraction more. The hand on her sleeve tightened. A voice hissed in her ear. Don't! Not accented. Not cruel. Young. Male. Terrified. Her breath broke loose. The trigger stopped. Just before the wall. The hand pulled away fast. Boots scraped backward. A shade dropped off the far edge of the roof. Gone. Her rifle swung too late. Only darkness answered. Below, a ranger yelled. Contact broke! Another shouted. Rooftop's clear. Clear. The word felt like a lie. Her arm sagged. The rifle dipped. Her muscles burned with delayed fear. She stared at the spot where the hand had been. Her sleeve was torn. Finger shaking, she touched it. Still warm. Still real. The radio crackled again. Lower now. Controlled. We know you're up there, a ranger said. Stay where you are. Her throat closed. Stay. She had never stayed before. Sirens wailed in the distance. Closer every second. Lights bloomed at the ends of streets. Red. Blue. The night filled with sound and consequence. She lay back against the roof. Stared at the stars she hadn't noticed once. Her hand smelled like oil and blood. She wondered whose. A boot hit the ladder edge below her. Metal groaned. Slow. Careful. Someone was coming up. She pulled the rifle back to her shoulder. Not aiming down. Aiming at the ladder. Her finger rested on the trigger. Not shaking now. Waiting. The ladder creaked under careful weight. One rung at a time. Measured. Respectful. A helmet appeared first. Then eyes. Wide. Trying not to scare her. The ranger froze when he saw the rifle. So did she. No one breathed. The city seemed to lean in. Listening. Her arms ached. Her shoulders screamed. But her sight stayed locked. The ranger lifted one hand slowly. Palm out. A universal plea. It's okay, he said. His voice shook anyway. She swallowed. Her mouth tasted like pennies and smoke. She wanted to believe him. She wanted to disappear. Below them, another radio burst alive. Sharp. Urgent. Movement confirmed. Enemy not accounted for. The ranger's eyes flicked past her. Just once. Enough. Something shifted on the neighboring roof. A scrape. A breath that wasn't hers. The ranger saw it too. His hand dropped toward his weapon. Her finger tightened without asking permission. 3 of them now. On one rooftop. All aiming. All afraid. The night held its breath again. The scrape came again. Closer. Deliberate. Her pulse thundered in her ears. The ranger whispered, Easy! Not to her. To himself. A shape rose from the edge of the next roof. The hunter. Bleeding now. One arm hanging wrong. His eyes locked on hers. Not angry. Curious. Like she was a puzzle he wanted to finish. He lifted his rifle with his good hand. Slow. Mocking. The ranger swore under his breath. His weapon came up fast. Too fast. She saw the mistake before it happened. Wait! She breathed. No one heard her. The hunter smiled. Just a little. Her finger tightened. The ranger's finger tightened. The hunter's finger tightened. 3 hearts racing. 1 rooftop. 1 choice. The air felt thin. Fragile. Like glass about to shatter. Her rifle aligned on instinct alone. No thought. No doubt. Only weight and balance and breath. The radio screamed again. Do not fire. The hunter's rifle twitched upward. The ranger stepped forward. And her finger crossed the point of no return. The rifle bucked hard against her shoulder. The sound split the night open. The hunter jerked back. His smile vanished. He fell sideways, disappearing into darkness between buildings. No thud came back. Just silence. Thick. Terrible. The ranger froze mid-step. His breath tore out of him. He stared at her like she had rewritten the world. Smoke drifted past her face. It burned her eyes. Or maybe that was something else. Below, voices erupted. Shouting. Running. Orders colliding. Someone yelled her position again. Louder this time. The ranger turned toward the ladder. Then back to her. His jaw tightened. "You hit him," he said. Not a question. Her hands finally began to shake. Violent now. Uncontrollable. She lowered the rifle an inch. Then stopped. Movement flickered in the alley far below. Too fast. Too many. The radio screamed warnings over warnings. Multiple contacts. North side. Rooftops not secure. The ranger cursed softly. He reached for her shoulder. She flinched away. Her eyes stayed on the darkness where the hunter fell, waiting for him to rise again, waiting to see if she had ended a life, or just delayed it. The helicopter thundered back overhead. Lights washed the roofs white. Somewhere, a weapon clattered. Somewhere closer, footsteps ran. She lifted the rifle again. Not because she wanted to. Because the night wasn't done with her yet. The light pinned her to the rooftop. Bright as judgment. She squinted and held steady. The footsteps slowed. Hands rose. Weapons lowered. One by one. The night exhaled. Long. Tired. The ranger stepped beside her again. Not reaching. Just standing there. Present. "It's over," he said softly. She searched his face for truth. Found only relief and grief mixed together. Her arms finally gave out. The rifle slid from her hands and clattered harmlessly. The sound made her flinch anyway. She hugged her knees to her chest. Felt small at last. Felt 16. Sirens filled the streets below. Red and blue painted the walls. The smell of smoke drifted away on the wind. Someone draped a jacket over her shoulders. Heavy. Warm. Human. She didn't thank them. She didn't apologize. There were no words shaped right for this. As they led her toward the ladder, she looked once more at the edge of the roof. At the darkness where the hunter had fallen. She wondered who he had been before the rifle. Before the choice. The ranger paused beside her. "You saved lives tonight," he said. She nodded, but did not smile. Saving had never felt like this before. The city kept breathing. Broken. Alive. And as her feet touched the ladder, she realized the quiet was gone for good.